Today's lesson on life is, which one will it be? College, workforce, or military? You have to choose one. Today, I'm going to talk to the graduating seniors. I know many of you will be graduating from college very soon. Many of you will be graduating from high school as well. And also those whose major in life is undeclared, okay? Looking for a way to live off of the hard work of other people, not on my show, okay? So we have some things that we need to talk about today. Today, my question to you is, which one will you choose? The workforce, get a job, college, get an education, or the military, okay? Get some experience, get involved. I have with me a special guest who's going to talk about navigating through life, the workforce, the military, and college. So welcome to the show, Miss Cleo Johnson. Thank you so much for being here, Cleo. How are you today?
You're welcome. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you again for being here. The first question I just want to ask you is just to tell me a little bit about yourself and your background, just sort of, how you were raised, if you had siblings, and the value of education as you saw it while you were growing up.
Okay, yes. I'm Cleo Johnson, born and raised Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay, beautiful.
I'm the fifth child of 7.
Whew.
I have 2 sisters, 2 older sisters, and I have 4 brothers, 2 older and 2 younger.
Okay. So you're kind of in the middle.
Yes, I'm that middle child.
I understand that.
Yes.
Okay. And so growing up, did you feel like there was a sense of a value of education in the community, in your family, or for you?
Yes, both my parents. They valued education. My dad, he always said that, knowledge, is power, and that people cannot take away from you what you know.
Exactly.
So he really valued education.
Exactly. And I want to point out, when I say value education, a lot of young people don't understand that. They say, well, my parents didn't go to college. It's not about them going to college. You can still value education and didn't go to college. It doesn't matter what your parents did. It's the value that was instilled in you, that you have to do something, that you have to get your life together, that you have to push forward, that you can't be sleeping in my basement, or you can't be sleeping in my back room or my garage after 18. I still love you, but you can't stay.
Right,
okay? Yes. And so when I talk about the value of education, I'm sort of talking about sort of that, what was instilled in you. Did you always feel like, I'm going to leave home, I'm going to go to college? Was that like your first thought, like when you were in your teenage years?
That was,
okay.
Because I was a straight A student all
Beautiful.
through my life.
Beautiful.
And so I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
And so I valued education, highly. School was important to us.
Good.
So when I graduated from high school, I did want to go to college.
Good. And I bet that wasn't easy for your parents, having 7 kids and having to sort of put food on the table and obviously work and make sure they, you all felt loved and spend time with you. It's not always easy to make sure that every child feels valued either. But obviously they did something great because they had you and you're doing good stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So once you got into high school, did you start preparing for college, or were you moving towards the military? What decisions were you making as you were getting older?
Well, when I was going through high school back in the 80s.
And you don't have to tell your age.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, they didn't, we weren't prepared for college. They didn't have all the things that they have now, where they actually start preparing students, middle school. I hear them talking about it. We weren't prepared for that. So we just knew we wanted to go to college. We just didn't know how to.
Exactly.
And so that's the unfortunate part of it. We didn't save for college. We didn't, have the money to go to college. So it's just that we graduated and then we either went or we didn't.
Exactly.
Because of money.
Exactly. And the unfortunate thing is a lot of that same that problem is still a part of our communities. The previous show we just did was talking about sort of getting the most out of high school, and I had some students who are involved in a dual enrollment program where they're able to get like an associate's degree as well as their high school diploma while they're in high school.
Right.
And so what an option. I didn't even know about that either. And even though I took some college courses, nothing against the guidance counselors, but they didn't share that information. And sometimes some of us felt like it wasn't shared with everyone. And however, you didn't have the information. You didn't know about scholarships. You didn't know about financial aid, all the opportunities. Of course, you hear about Pell Grants, but that's a small amount of money compared to how much college actually costs. So and I still hear people, used to be, when I was younger, I used to hear people say, well, my mom, my grandparents, they have a policy. People were trying to use the death policies or the money from the death policies to pay for college, only to find out that there wasn't a whole lot of money, or that they had purchased a term life policy that wouldn't pay anything. Exactly. So, you know, I understand all of that misinformation. I've been through it myself, and obviously having gone through college, it was not an easy journey. No. So I'm glad that you two were able to sort of navigate. So I know it's been a while, you know, sort of since you had to go through it, but what are some of those things that help you to get from saying, I want to go to college, to I'm going to get there? How did you end up, you know, not necessarily paying for college, but, you know, getting there?
Right, yes. Well, I ended up going to a community college.
Okay.
Because of the money.
Yes.
And I didn't want to burden my parents with a lot of, you know, student loans, things like that. And I didn't want myself to be paying back student loans 20 years after I graduated. So I chose to go to a community college, and I did do that for 2 years before, you know, I graduated from there and then went to workforce.
Okay. So now, what did you get your ultimate use? So you started at the community college, which can save you half off tuition. And then you went into your bachelor's program. Well,
no, I actually started working.
Okay.
Just started working, and I'm one of them people that work 2-3 jobs. Single, no children, so I just was working. And, you know, just kind of hanging out.
Okay. So but this is, and I know a lot of people, you know, it's just your life. It's just what you're doing. But you're not alone. And so, you know, one of the reasons I asked you to be on the show is because I know that, you know, this show is about college, workforce, and military. I know you've been through all of them.
I have.
So tell me a little bit about how the military came into play in your life.
Well, when I was working one of my jobs, and I met some Navy recruiters, and I didn't know anyone in the Navy, so I knew nothing about the Navy.
Okay.
But I met some recruiters. I was working down in a restaurant, and so they kept, you know, asking me to come down. So I was like, no, the military's not for me. But and I must have given them like 10 recruits.
Okay.
So finally, I said to one of the guys, I said, well, I'll tell you what. If I passed the test, which I didn't know it was the easiest test that you can possibly take.
Not for everyone.
Yes. I said, well, I'll go down there, and if I pass the test, then I'll join the Navy.
Okay.
And so I went down there and took the test, and I passed it, of course.
Good for you.
And so me being a woman of my word, I said I told him that if I would. So that's how I actually got into the Navy.
So what branch did you end up serving in?
The Navy. I went into the Navy.
Navy woman. Okay.
Yes.
So then, so you went to Navy. Yes. You got this associate's degree. You've been in the military. I also know you have a bachelor's degree.
Yes,
right?
Yes, I actually have a master's.
And so what is your bachelor's in? What is your master's in?
Well, my bachelor's was in healthcare management.
Okay, beautiful.
And then I got my master's in healthcare management.
Beautiful, yes, wonderful. Yes. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud, because I want people to know, sometimes people feel like, you know, it's hard to get from step to step, but you know, it's hard for all of us, but it is possible to go through all of those. And I just love that your journey includes, you know, I'm going to do something, I'm going to work. And I hear the work ethic in you. Yes. I'm going to work, I'm going to college, and you even were able to fit in some military years.
Yes, 20 of them.
20 years, okay? Yes, don't she look young? She
Good.
Okay. And so the journey has been good to you. And I just want to, again, tell you just what it means for you to push through. And again, I know, you know, like you said, starting out being a single mom, trying to just put food on your table, it's a part of who you are.
Right.
But I want you to know that it's amazing, because some people don't. Like I mentioned earlier, some people are waiting around, sitting around waiting for us hardworking people to go to work. And some people don't have that work ethic. So today, like I said, I want to make sure that people know at home that, you know, not making a choice is not an option, young people. It's not an option, okay? You have to choose. If your parents didn't tell you, I'm telling you, you have to choose. Workforce, military, or college. Pick one. You need to give back to society. You need to do it for you, not for your parents, not for other people, but do it for you. Thank you again, Ms. Cleo Johnson, for being here today. Give her a hand.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching It's Life Changing. We'll be right back. It's now time for me to speak into your life. Last week we talked about success. How bad do you want it? Well, today we're doing part 2. Last time I finished off talking about a couple of things, your choices, helping you to understand that every choice that you make as a young person, as an adult, it is setting the road to your success. It is making the path for where you're going to go in your life. And that you have to play an active role in your life. The second thing I want to add to that is I need you to know you. I want you to know who you are and how you come across. So many people don't understand this part. When I say know you, people say, I know me. I know who I am. I know my good. I know my bad. That's not what I'm talking about. I want you to understand how you come across. Some people are really unaware of how they come across, their disposition, okay? Who are you? What do your words, what do your behavior, and what does your dress say about you? You're trying to get that corporate job. Are you dressed for the place where you're going? Some of you young people, older people should have told you, okay, and if they haven't, I'm going to tell you, you should dress for where you're going, not for where you're at. You say, well, I'm young. They make it, they sell it in the store. My students tell me all the time, well, they sell it, Dr. Perry. And I tell them, just because they sell it don't mean you have to wear it, okay? Same thing with your behavior and your words. Make sure the things that you say, okay, they sound intelligent, okay? Make sure you pick up a book, that you read a book, that you put something in, because you can't talk about anything that's not in there. So many students tell me all the time, I don't like to read. Well, you need to change that. If you're going to be in college, I need you to like to read, okay? What do you think people see when they look at you? That's one of the things I want you to understand. You say, people don't understand me. They don't get me, okay? They always saying this or they're saying that. But what is it that people see? What do you allow them to see? What is it that you want them to see? Whatever it is that you want them to see, make sure that that's what you're displaying. If you want to be a person who's honest, who's known for your character, then you be a person who's honest and has integrity and known for their character. That's important for you. For me, when I look out at my students and I look out into the world, I see many people. People ask me, say, Dr. Perry, what do you see? I say, I see character. I see compassion. I see intelligence. I see possibilities for people. People don't always see that in themselves. I want you to understand, I see those things, but what you do about it is really up to you. Last thing, I want you to know your purpose. Know your purpose and your passion. It's important, as we were talking about earlier, it's important that you know what it is that you want to do in life. Some people don't know what it is. At the core of that purpose, you're supposed to be helping someone else. This world, this life is not about your own gain. This world is about helping someone else. No matter what field you go in, it should be to enhance the world, to make it a better place for all of us. What is my purpose? How do you figure it out? I want you to think about your dreams. What is it that you want to be? Make it realistic, but what are your dreams, okay? I ask people this perfect world kind of question. If you didn't have to worry about financial aid, if you didn't have to worry about what you've been through and who didn't help you and all that crazy stuff, what is it that you would be doing? Sometimes you have to remove those barriers. Sometimes they're real, but you have to remove those barriers so that you can just focus on what it is that you want to do in your life, okay? What are your strengths? What are your experiences? We had the young lady on early who talked about her experience with the military, her experience in college. What is that you bring to the table? Some people want to change their whole career. You don't have to change your whole career. What are your strengths? What you can bring in from your past, okay, to become a part of your future? Those things that she did in the military make her a stronger person, make her a leader, okay? Her love for people, all of that might be a part of her personality, but her strength in the military and in the college makes her even better leader now out here in the real world, okay? Passion, how do you get it? I'm a pretty passionate person. Most people know that about me, okay? It is exciting, okay? You could do it every day. And you would do it even if they didn't pay you. Now, you want to get paid, but you would do it. And sometimes, many times, I go overboard. I don't know how to not give of myself. And so because I'm so passionate, it runs over. Anything that you love to do, you shouldn't be doing something on the side if that's your passion. You should try to find a way to blend that. And if you need help, you can call me, okay? My future, I have a plan. I teach my students how to be critical thinkers. Take the skills that they're learning in the classroom, take them out into the real world. You shouldn't, first day on the job, they tell you need to do a report. Don't say, I don't know how to do that. Figure it out, okay? Go to the hard drive. Figure out what the old reports are. Talk to somebody about what goes into the report. Figure it out. Be a critical thinker where you're not, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. It's too many people laying around on the couch who don't know how to navigate this world. The world is not going to hand you a job. You have to go and get the job. The world is not going to hand you a plan. You have to create a plan for yourself, for your life, okay? You have to be self-motivated. You have to be determined, okay? You might not hear people all the time telling you, great job. patting you on the back, telling you to go on. You're going to have to sometimes get up in the morning and tell yourself that. You're going to have to say, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I can do this, I can do all things. You're going to have to tell yourself that you're a good person, that you can do this report, you can take care of this job, you can apply for this job and get it. Don't sit back and wait for people to say thank you, for people to say great job, because you might not hear it. But as long as you know the job that you're doing and the work that you're doing, okay, is great, then that's all that counts, okay? Preparing for the life that you want. I want you to ask yourself this question. Are the things that you're doing on a daily basis, is it helping you to reach your goals? Are the people that you have in your circle and in your life, are they helping you or hindering you? Because every day, remember those choices? Every day is leading you to the next step. Every day is leading you to that next level of living. And every day you're doing something. So what things are you doing? Are you hanging out all the time? Are you just chilling and playing video games? Are you working but just working yourself tirelessly? What are you doing today that's going to help you tomorrow and the next day? Are you doing all of these foolish things and you're putting those in your day and you can't wonder why you're not getting ahead? It's 3 years later, you're supposed to be writing that book, you're supposed to be starting your business, but you haven't because every day you're not doing anything to get you to that next goal, okay? As you prepare for that next step, some of you, I'm going to start you at the beginning. I want to give you some resume and some interview tips, okay, that you can use for yourself or share with someone that might be laying on your couch, okay, and someone that might need the job. The resume is your primary marketing tool. Some people, they don't care about the resume. They throw it together real quick. I want you to know that the resume is the liaison between you and the employer. The resume is what helps you to get the job. If your resume has jelly on it, if your resume doesn't look good, you don't look good. And so you're wondering why the employer is not calling you back. It's because your resume sucks, okay? Your resume is your marketing tool. It's you on paper. The purpose of your resume is to get an interview. It's not to get you hired. It's to say, this is who I am. Please call me because I want this job, okay? Employers request resumes as a method to pre-screen the job candidates, okay? They want to see your skills, your experience, your abilities for that specific job. So don't have some cookie cutter resume. They want to know, can you do this job? Have you read the job description? Do you know what they're asking, what they're looking for? And do you have the skills? Don't waste your time applying for things that you don't have the skills for. Okay? Now, I'm always saying go for it. But yes, go for it, but make sure it's in the things that you have actually a background in. If your background is in business, don't apply for something that has nothing to do with business. Or if you know you have several certificates in maintenance or in nursing or whatever, then you want to apply for those types of jobs. Just understand that, okay? The do's for a resume. I just want to run down my little list. Do include your name, address, phone number, and email address on your resume. No crazy emails, not imhotstuff@hotmail.com. Okay? Do make sure your resume is error-free. Go ahead and read it. Don't just trust the spell check. Make sure you actually read it for grammatical errors or have somebody else read it with you. Do select an appropriate format that includes professional appearance and a nice size font. Times New Roman 12 is good, okay? Do make sure your resume is brief and well organized, 1 to 2 pages for the position that you're applying for. Do list your skills, your qualifications, your education, your accomplishments, and make sure your information is accurate and up to date. The do nots. Do not include a date. Okay, you don't need to put a date on your resume. Include that on your cover letter, okay? Do not include personal pronouns such as I, and do not include abbreviations in the body of your resume. Do not include personal information such as your height, weight, date of birth, social security number. None of that matters, and they don't want to know about your hobbies. Okay, I know some people I like long walks and hikes. Don't add that. Who cares about that? Okay? Keep it simple, okay? Use bullets and short phrases. Don't use unfamiliar vocabulary. Use present tense for your current job. Past tense for your old jobs, okay? And make it look good. No pink paper, no perfume ladies, no flowers, okay? Just make it look nice. And guys, please look over your resume and keep it short, okay? Interview, be on time, be clean, shake hands, use eye contact, ask 1 or 2 questions at the end. Again, don't wear too much makeup, too much perfume. Don't be too familiar, too personable. Don't check your face. Don't mean mug them, okay? Check your attitude, all those good things. Don't push off your responsibilities for things that you've done. And remember to do great things. This is your life, your choices, and your future. I want you to take charge. Make a plan to move forward always. And don't let anything or anyone hold you back. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be right back. our segment of Community Resources. I have another special guest with me. I'm so excited to have her. I'm going to have her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about what she's doing in the community. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Thank you so much for, again, being on the show and coming up here to share resources with our community. Again, introduce yourself and tell us about your resources.
My name is Jewel Williams-Jones. I am the Career Services Coordinator at Thomas Nelson, the Peninsula's Community College. And I assist students with career advising.
Beautiful.
A lot of times we receive students in our office that don't have a clue as to what they want to do.
Yes.
So I help a student kind of identify their interests, their skills, and their abilities to put them on a career path that will, one, help them to compete in today's competitive job market.
Exactly.
Two, that will help them to be or become successful, that they will become successful. And three, which I say is most important, that they enjoy and be happy at the career that they choose.
Always, always a goal for me. My students know you need to understand your purpose and please be passionate about it. Yes. So I love that. So you're at Thomas Nelson Community College at the Workforce Center.
Yes. I work in career services, but our office happens to be in the Workforce Development Center. One of our partners. Yes, and the Workforce Development Center is open to the public. So we have students and the general public come into our building.
Tell us a little bit about some of the programs that you have there.
Well, I think it's fair to say that Workforce, we kind of cater to that non-traditional student.
And
which
is a lot today.
There are a lot of non-traditional students today. And what we see happening today with today's job market is that 80% of the jobs that are in demand now will be requiring some type of post-secondary credentialing and license. And that means that we're seeing the students with the bachelor degrees, the graduate degrees, come back in to get these credentials because the job market now, the demand is technical fields, medical fields. So that non-traditional student that has a family, that have degrees and graduate degrees are coming back in to get these credentials. And some of those credentialing programs that we have would cybersecurity, A+ certification, pharmacy tech, medical building and coding. Some of our most popular ones would be our welding and our CNC machining. And the beauty of our welding and CNC machining programs is they are actually taught by instructors from the shipyard, Newport News Shipbuilding.
That's wonderful.
So those instructors prepare those students for becoming employed at the shipyard. So they're going to teach you how to weld at Newport News Shipyard.
And make for great recommendations. Show them who you are. Come to class on time. I love that. So those are definitely some of the popular programs, and they are growing. And as technology grows, you see the programs continue to grow.
The programs are growing. Our partners are growing because some of our partners are, like I mentioned, the shipyard.
Are the employers.
Liebherr, Continental, Riverside, Cannon. And fortunately, these are our partners are huge, growing organizations and companies in the Hampton Roads area. So we're happy to be partnering with those employers.
And a lot of companies are starting to realize that it is people who make up the company. And so they're wanting their folks to be, again, credentialed, certified, educated, prepared for the workforce, because that makes you not only more productive, but also it gives you the tools that you need to be successful and to move around in the community. Always to have something that's yours where you can go from place to place. A lot of people are unemployed, but this is a way that you can sort of decrease that unemployment rate so that you can get the tools that you need. Last thing, what about funding and paying for programs? That's one of the barriers that keeps people out of school.
That is a barrier. We all know the traditional college and universities, funding is through personal loans, or what's most popular is the financial aid, federal funding, federal financial aid. Unfortunately, we are faced with these credential classes and programs they have to be paid
Okay.
out of pocket.
Okay.
Now, although they're extremely much cheaper
Yes, they are.
than the average bachelor's degree or associate's degree, when you're
Yes.
talking,
Yeah.
you can pay up to $80,000
Exactly.
for
Exactly.
you know, a
Yes,
graduate degree, the cost of a
exactly.
graduate
We're talking
degree.
a couple of $100s or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Although these programs and these credentials are a lot cheaper, maybe from $1,500 to $3,000.
Okay.
It's still a lot of money if you are a dislocated worker.
Exactly.
And
Meaning you've been laid off.
And that means you've been laid off, you've lost your job. So do you want to invest this $3,000 into this credentialing?
Yes.
Or I still have a mortgage and a car payment and
Yeah.
I've lost my job.
Yeah.
So what we're faced with now, the Virginia Community College, our chancellor is advocating and going to Congress
Okay.
and pushing and encouraging Congress to
Okay.
pass laws where financial aid will start paying for
Yes.
our credentials and our license.
And I know one of
right.
our colleges close to here is trying to work on that, and they're just getting in the student loan process.
Yes.
And so I'm excited about this but I do want to encourage folks who do need the credentialing, who are maybe dislocated, or maybe you haven't been working for a while. Sometimes it is an investment. Maybe to
Yes.
get something that's maybe $200 to $300, and you never know when there might be a small scholarship or there may be
Yes.
assistance. So don't count yourself out. Go to the college, talk to people. You never know when. I know sometimes the shipyard will offer their own scholarships or those type of things, where they may pay if you show up. And I keep saying that because I've seen people go through those like a week-long or 3-week program, and like they skip classes. Your class is
Yes.
only a week or 3 weeks. You should show up to every class on time, because
yes.
they're not only looking at your work, your real work, but they're looking at your work ethic. And so thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. I think we covered everything we want to cover.
Yes.
So again, thank you, Ms. Jewel Williams-Jones from Thomas Nelson Community College Workforce Center.
Thank you.
And before I let you go, please, can you real quick give them your contact information there?
Sure. My phone number is 757-865-5878. So if you are a graduating high school senior and you have no clue as to what you want to do, please give me a call. Or if you're a dislocated worker, still give me a call and I can put you in the right direction. Thank you.
Beautiful. And thank you so much for watching It's Life Changing. See you next time.